Hi, my name is Ibuku Tolu Jeboda, and I'd like to introduce you to Team Funding. Team Funding is our contribution to the unemployment problems in Nigeria. We're using the cooperative model to help Nigerians to build cooperatives in specific sectors and industries.
The global emergence of the middle class interconnected by myriad networks. As a result, citizens will want a greater say in their future than previous generations. Growing awareness that the demands and concerns of people in many different countries converge with shared aspirations and shared grievances.
Team Funding is an initiative that we've come up with to using the cooperative model that is being used on a global level to come into Nigeria to help build cooperatives and to inject them with funds. Team Funding is on the global register of the International Cooperative Alliance, and we're using models and frameworks that is being used on a global scale to help Nigerians to build their businesses.
A cooperative is an autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise.
So what we do is this: we look at a sector, be it furnishing, be it printing, be it you want to go into corporate gifts, be it retail, be it fashion. We build a team of people around such a business, and then we inject them with funds that would allow them to have things like infrastructure, facility, you need generator, you need machinery, you need equipment, and all the likes. That's where Team Funding comes in. We do not invest in an individual, but we fund a team. These teams are established under a cooperative model.
And Team Funding happens to be a kind of institution or an organization that can actually make small businesses grow. In Nigeria today, or Lagos to be specific, I've noticed that there are so many people out there with so many initiatives and who actually have the potentials of becoming great. But due to lack of funds, due to lack of maybe one thing or the other, they have not been able to actually excel in these businesses. So for Team Funding coming today into Nigeria and having to address us, I think is actually the way to go. And by doing all this, I think we shall definitely have a better Nigeria.
Cooperatives are based on the values of self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. In the tradition of their founders, cooperative members believe in the ethical values of honesty, openness, social responsibility, and caring for others. The cooperative principles are guidelines by which cooperatives put their values into practice.
Cooperatives all over the world work on the premise of a democratic setting where everyone has a voice, there is a shared goal, common goal to achieve a common purpose, to help them. Maybe it might be support in the area of bulk buying, being able to have a voice with the government, being able to do things on a bigger scale and have a bigger leverage, being able to bargain with suppliers from all over the world. Now, when you come into team funding, we would build a team of like-minded business people into a cooperative, and this cooperative will be funded by external investors after the members of the cooperative have already established what is the minimum contribution that is required by every member of that cooperative. Their fund can be used into things like buying the raw materials that they require. They might have a joint warehouse where things are kept, where things are stored for them to use. But team funding would create things like, would bring in investors that can fund things like facility, equipment, machinery, generator, and things that can be shared commonly amongst all the members of the cooperative.
Starting a business is risky. Only 4 in 10 businesses survive their first 5 years. Cooperatives buck this trend, however, with 8 out of 10 cooperatives created in the last 5 years still going strong. A combination of sharing risk, harnessing ideas of many, and the stake that members have means cooperatives demonstrate significant business resilience.
Team funding works in 3 main stages. We've got 3 main stages, and then there are sub-stages within each of those stages. In the very first stage, you would need to join the cooperative by getting all the materials that we have. We have ebooks, there's a video CD that would explain what we're about. There are lots of free ebooks that you would get by registering with us. These are ebooks from cooperatives from all over the world, the UK Cooperative Association, the International Cooperative Alliance, and different materials that we have that we'll give to you for free so that you can understand the model of cooperatives, how they work, and how this can benefit you, how you can participate. Now, once you go through the first stage of understanding the general framework of cooperatives and you register with team funding, the next thing that would happen is you would need to now determine what specific business are you interested in. We have a range of businesses in our brochure. You'll see there we have things from printing to fashion to retail to opening your own restaurant to doing a whole lot of things. You want to go into corporate gifts, you want to go into branding, marketing. Team funding would build a cooperative of different groups have different numbers, minimum number of people that are expected to join that cooperative. There's a maximum number, there's a minimum number, and it's not the same for every cooperative. It varies based on the financial target, the financial goal, what is the minimum amount that is required to get that business off the ground.
In team funding, our Team Funding Nigeria, there are 3 stages. Stage 1 is where you are right now, talking with me, meeting with me. For you to have been at stage 1, you might have made a purchase of 3,000 Naira to enable you have this, a copy of this DVD. Now, when you got this DVD, you would have gotten your own unique ID number, which is unique for you from your time of inception in team funding till you leave. Now, with that, you got the DVD as well. Inclusive of the DVD, you got 10 free ebooks sent to your mailbox, which we got to give you as a free gift from the International Cooperative Alliance. Now, getting these materials, you're supposed to study. As you're doing right now, watching this DVD, you're actually beginning your study. Now, you have to read all the books. They are free ebooks. They are dispensed to you at your own free time. Nobody's going to watch you, you're going to read it, and you're going to understand it. Now, part of what we do is you have a team funding representative to attend to you. You're entitled to a 20-minute free phone call with your team funding ambassador. You will supply your unique ID number to this ambassador, who is going to give you a 20-minute phone call to answer all your questions. But he's to answer your questions only after you have watched this DVD, you have understood it, and you have read some of the books. Then you can have a one-on-one conversation, and then he explains to you things that might not be so clear to you for your understanding.
Cooperatives are bubbling up everywhere, from local residents starting up community-owned energy projects to young people forming co-ops in the creative industries, residents saving their much-loved local pub, and the employees buying their workplace.
Stage 2 in team funding: registration and training. When you're done with this initial stage of watching the DVD, the next stage is to group you together with other people of like minds and interests in the same business that you want to do. For example, let's say you're interested in furniture making, and Party B is interested in interior. Party C is interested in making office furniture, not just interior furniture. You all are grouped together, minimum of 50 to 100. Now, you guys are going to come together, boys and girls, male and female, young people and adults. You're going to come together and form your own cooperative, the furniture sector. Now, in coming together, you're going to have trainings, you're going to get mentors. Now, for your trainings, you're going to be trained by people who are Nigerians, who are already in the business that you want to go into, and they are successful, and they are trustworthy, and they have good track record. We're not going to give you mentors that are dubious. We're going to give you mentors that operate international business practice and going to tell you what to do at what step in time. Now, for this particular stage, which is stage 2, it's going to cost a minimum of 15,000 naira for registration. Now, you're going to ask, what is 15,000 naira for? 15,000 naira is going to be for the cost of logistics, the cost of training resource, the cost for the venue where you're going to be trained, and the cost that entails for setting up a business plan for your entire team. All the business research that's going to be done, everything is inclusive in this amount of money. You're not paying it to us, we're not taking your money. You're going to have a team set up amongst you that are going to be accountable for the money, of how it's spent and how it's judicially used.
And then what we'll do next is to get an investor to inject funds, and we already have these investors. They will inject funds into things like buying you the machinery, getting you the factory, and everyone within that team. What would happen is you will be able to function as individual businesses. Now, team funding doesn't mean you're all coming together to come in and start one company. No. Business A, business B, business C, and business D have their own identity. They're only sharing common assets funded by the investor.
Stage 3 in team funding requires seed capital and rental. For you to get to stage 3, you must have been successful in stage 2. That means you have passed stage 1, you've read the books, you've spoken to your team funding representative, you have moved to stage 2. Now, stage 2, as I said earlier, all of you come together, those who are interested in a particular kind of business, and then you proceed to stage 3. The business research has been done, now it's time to set up the business. You've spoken to your mentors, you've spoken to the people in the industry, now it's time to set up the business.
It is the initiative to help the entrepreneurs to come together, form an associate, and I think it's a good one. It's a good initiative.
Now, at stage 3, you are not given funds to team funding. At stage 3, a cooperative is formed, which becomes a legal entity. And that legal entity now has a life of its own. So that legal entity opens a bank account. Amongst the legal entity formed, the cooperative that has been formed, there will be different committees that would be signatories to finances in opening bank accounts in the name of the cooperative. The fund in stage 3 is not given to team funding. It is put into the dedicated bank account opened by this cooperative. But what team funding will still be doing for you in stage 3 is we're following you through the journey. We're doing things like facility management, we're the unbiased umpire to ensure that everyone is abiding by the terms and conditions, the rules and the regulations of the cooperative. Things like, take for instance, we're talking about a furniture company. that has been formed with a cooperative of about 50 people. And Team Funding has successfully gotten an external investor that has invested in machinery, in factory, warehouse. Now, such things, and then you also need to have a front office, you need to have a showroom for clients to come in. Team Funding will still be the one regulating things like the facility management, ensuring that we have staffing to look at the day-to-day operation of the business, to ensure that everyone complies with the stipulated rules and regulations, the terms and conditions that was jointly agreed by the cooperative.
Our goal: to assist 1,000 entrepreneurs in Nigeria start their businesses in 2016, 500 by January to June 2016, and an additional 500 by December 2016, through the setting up of cooperatives, joint partnerships, incubator centers, specialized teams, and networks.
One of the biggest challenges that we have with business is when people want to go it alone. And when they go it alone, the biggest challenge is you can achieve everything you want to achieve. But when you come together as a team and you say, okay, fine, we're all focused on achieving one goal, basically it becomes a lot much easier, it's faster. The time to accomplish things is quicker, and basically you can achieve more and produce more quality than when one person just says, okay, fine, let me just do it alone. And then you have different people thinking, collaborating, thinking, iterating things, and make sure, okay, fine, they can improve on whatever it is they've done before, and give better quality with things. So basically that is the focus: getting more quality out there, working together as a team, collaborating, reducing the risk, and ensuring that people go together as a team and give better services. Basically that's it.
In line with our 2016 rollout plan, Team Funding desires to create wealth, drive entrepreneurship, and to generally help improve and sustain the gross domestic product of the Nigerian economy. Team Funding is creating over 1,000 direct opportunities in 42 different locations across Nigeria by assisting entrepreneurs to develop their business into revenue-generating enterprises through cooperative funding.
Now, we're launching a campaign in Nigeria, and I'm so excited about it. It's called Together Naija. We're trying to bring in the spirit of collaboration, teamwork.
With the population we have in Nigeria of about 170 million people, I think we're going to take out so many unemployed graduates, and we're going to empower more people. We don't need to wait for the government to help us. We can help ourselves as individuals, and I think this is a great one.
Statistics have it that in our dear country, we're over 170 million, and also that over 20 million Nigerians are not in employment. We believe that the government cannot resolve this problem, and therefore we decided to come up with this initiative to help play a role. We want to reduce their risk. We want to reduce the entry into business. We want to reduce people having to wait to go and get a big bank loan and then start a business that they're not even sure how it's going to turn out. With Team Funding, you're able to come together, and then because most times entrepreneurs really get excited. They've got a new idea, and that idea most times requires setting up. They need a place. You need to have an office, you need to have a warehouse, you need to buy this machine and buy that. They're quick to look on their business plan that, what I need to do next is just get enough funds to buy that machine and then open that office. But most times we know that businesses fail because people don't usually have that cash flow, that long plan. There's no marketing plan, there's no advertising plan, there's no muzzle for that. You cannot even weather competition with the big players in the market. With Team Funding, a lot of small players come together, they synergize, they collaborate. The machine that one person should have bought and run alone with, a group comes together and then they jointly fund. And as they jointly fund, they are able to actually focus on what is actually important, bringing in clients. With this, we believe very strongly we can help the government to eradicate unemployment, because we can bring in people in numbers and then let them actually do the business that they are passionate about. That's what we're for. That's what we stand for in Team Funding.
They can move a lot of things together, businesses that have collapsed. They can look for people who have the same like minds and move the business forward.
Ownership gives people control over things that matter to them. Without it, they have less of a stake in society and in the economy. The effect on business is detrimental, slowing down key determinants of economic success, like productivity, innovation, and entrepreneurialism.
Team Funding is strategically located all across the country, our great country of Nigeria. We're in 5 zones in the country. We're in Lagos, which is our largest zone. In Lagos, we're located in every local government, and in some local government, we have Team Funding representatives, ambassadors, in more than one location. For example, it's just a local government, a wide local government. We're in Victoria Island, we're in Ajah, we're in Lekki Phase 1, we're in Lekki Phase 2, we're in Ikoyi, we're in Lagos Island. We're spread across so that you have easy accessibility to your Team Funding ambassador. The other 4 zones across the country are the southwest, the south-south, the southeast, and the northern part. Let me take the northern part. North is quite large. The northern part of Nigeria is quite large. We're in Abuja, we're in Kwara, we're in Kogi, we're in Nasarawa, we're in Jos, we're in Katsina, we're in Kano. Now going to the southeast, we're in Enugu, we're in Abia State, we're in Anambra State, we're in Imo State, we're in Ebonyi State. For every state I've mentioned, there is a Team Funding representative, an ambassador, to meet you. And in certain states, we have more than 5 ambassadors to meet you at your point in need. Now going to the south-south, we're in Delta State, we're in Edo State, we're in Rivers State, we're in Cross River State, we're in Bayelsa State, we're in Akwa Ibom State. We have more than one representative to attend to everyone who makes a phone call to speak to their Team Funding ambassador.
The problem of infrastructure, electricity, and bad roads is solved almost 75% with this kind of initiative. That means that you can have the businesses, run on their own without those inhibitions that are commonplace with every Nigerian business and entrepreneur.
We've looked at all of these areas, and then we have raised what we call Team Funding ambassadors. These are our volunteers covering different locations all across Nigeria. We had a big event where all our ambassadors came, and they were so excited about the project, and they've been all mapped to different locations. So once you commit and you register with Team Funding, you'd also be given, besides all of the materials we're going to give to you, we're also going to give you a dedicated funding ambassador that would take you through the journey, explain the process to you on a general level. And then what you can do going forward is to look at all the list of businesses that we're currently funding. You just go in there and then make your choice. Like, I'm interested in this, or I would love to do that. Once that is decided, you'll be a part of that cooperative. And once the cooperative is formed, we go to the next stage where you get funding. And once you get funding, then you open your business. And then we can say that Nigeria is working again, that our youth are taking, they're taking their future, putting that in their hands and then moving forward. We just want to fold our hands and say the Naira has no value or the government is not helping. We're doing something about it. We believe that the 2 great things that a nation needs to be successful is people and land. And we have both. We have the numbers, we have the land. Nigerians are entrepreneurial, we're passionate people, but we need structures to work with. We need to come together, join Team Funding, and make Nigeria work again. Together, Nigeria.
When the cooperative pioneers first implemented their new ideas, those ideas provided a way for people to meet their needs where investor-owned businesses were failing them. Today, those ideas are needed by all people. It is the global community which has been failed by the traditional way of doing business, where profits and growth are more important than sustainability, and the private interest of some is more important than the public interest of everyone. But for this blueprint to be meaningful and effective, it needs to be taken up and endorsed by national bodies, by individual societies, and by all people who believe in the cooperative way of doing business. Cooperative must lead the way by cooperating amongst themselves. All of us now have a role to play to secure the 2020 vision.